Well, we've seen a lot of reactions to the federal government's plan to increase the capital gains tax after last week's federal budget. People thinking about it when it comes to their stock investments, but also when it comes to properties, say in the cottage market. Could it lead to more inventory at a time where we've already seen a little bit of pressure on prices? Let's bring in John Finchman. He is a broker with Remax Parry Sound Muskoka Realty, specializing in Ontario's cottage market. John, thanks very much for joining us. What's been the buzz since we got that update on the capital gains tax?
Well, I'm getting a lot of calls, mostly from folks that are trying to keep it in the family, actually, as opposed to selling. It's affecting people coast to coast. And it's kind of a challenge because it was very granular, and it's affecting people that have a cabin in northern Alberta as much as it is a multi-million-dollar cottage in Muskoka. It's complicated and it's tough.
So what are the things that people do have to think about, to your point, because you're talking about an asset here that sometimes, sure, people buy for leisure. Sometimes they might buy it with an investment thesis in mind, but they also might be, to your point, trying to keep it in the family. So what are some of the considerations with these changes?
Well, the multi-generational cottages are the biggest challenge because it's been handed down maybe 2 or 3 times. So there's a lot of exposure from a capital gains perspective. And they haven't pegged it at a value for ages, so the spreads are huge, and that's why it's tricky because the cottage flippers in Muskoka are painted with the same brush as the Nova Scotia cabin, and people have to keep in mind that they have to get an accurate current value no matter what the situation is, because they need to know what to deal with it going forward.
And so with all of those considerations, do you think that's going to impact the levels of inventory, the pricing around cottages in that region?
Absolutely. It should affect them, coast to coast, because people are trying to beat that timeline. So I suspect we've already seen a lot of new listings since the announcements, and more coming out every day. So the next 6 or 8 weeks, I think you'll see a big uptick. And there's already a lot of waterfront listed for sure. We're double what we were a year ago. Days on market have doubled, inventory has doubled. So that doesn't bode well, price-wise.
And what's the reasoning, or what's the reason for the number of cottages being on the market? Is it as simple as this higher interest rate environment, which complicates what's happening in the housing market?
That's a really involved question. So you've got the interest rates, of course. You've got the pandemic buyers that are having second thoughts. Also, generational switch. There's a lot of baby boomers that it's just that time that it's time to sell the cottage. There's a lot of moving parts, but the reality is there's a lot of listings coming on, and I hear that everywhere. On the supply and demand equation, the supply side is saturated, and the demand side is weak. So I would suspect, more price erosion. We're down about 25%, according to the appraisers I'm talking to, because the numbers are so low that they're not statistically valid. So you have to fall back on what the appraisers are thinking, and that's a big drop.
If the supply and the demand imbalance ultimately sort of gets amplified by, to your point, maybe there are people that don't want to be caught up in this more complicated capital gains tax story once that you officially see those changes. Do you have any guesstimates on how that will impact average prices from here?
I suspect we'll see a little more erosion. Like I said, maybe another 5 points. I think we've really stabilized. I don't know if there's any charts being shown right now, but the price drop has somewhat stabilized. And I suspect you'll see a little bit more downward flow till the third quarter. And then I suspect it'll kind of, equalize nicely.
Okay. And for those who, I guess, are seeing the opportunity here with a lot of potential supply on the market right now, what are some of the considerations when you are in the market for a cottage property?
Well, take your time now. I mean, the madness of the pandemic is over. Do your homework and really, the variety is huge right now. So you don't have to jump on the first one or even the first 10. Get somebody that knows the area well and knows what the market is. Because right now there's a big spread. People hoping to get the old number when the real number's down here. So the spreads are very wide. So if you're looking to buy a cottage, you need to deal with somebody that really knows waterfront for sure and knows the market.